Hello, I'm Ross, and today I'm going to show you how you can publish your TypeScript configuration file on NPM, and you can reuse your configuration options between projects. You'll need to create a new folder where you're going to house your NPM project, and at minimum this will need to contain a package.json file. You can consider this your node or NPM configuration file for the project. This is what a typical directory structure might look like for a TSConfiguration package project. So I've got a bundler configuration and a TypeScript configuration when I'm using the TypeScript CLI. And then I've also included a license file that tells other people if they can use this project, a README file with some simple information about the TSConfiguration project, and then the package.json, which will configure the project for NPM. There's a few helpful fields that make sharing your configuration easier between projects. The first one is schema. This can be used in any .json file to provide types for your JSON files in editors like VS Code. So VS Code will pick up by default if your file is named tsconfig.json and type the file accordingly, but if it's not named tsconfig.json, you do not get the type autocompletion by default. Instead, you can set this $schema field and point it to a schema, and then you'll get those types for your JSON file. So you can see if I open that up here, this contains all of the different types and reference documentation for a TSConfig file. The second option is the config feature, and this can be used in a variety of different options, and it basically is a flag that says I'm referencing the directory that the base TSConfig is contained in. So this is a new feature in TypeScript 5.5, and it allows you, instead of using a relative path where you might reference the TSConfig in a node modules folder somewhere and have that path be relative to that node modules directory. Instead, you can reference the directory that the configuration is contained in. So this makes it a lot easier to share configurations between projects. For example, you can specify your out directory as config_dist, and that will ensure that all your files, no matter which project you're in, are output into a folder named dist. So you can see where I've used the config option here and how you might implement it into your projects. If you're curious about what all the different options are, Matt Pocock has provided a TSConfig cheat sheet, which I'll link to, and you can see some recommended options depending on what you're building. I'll also link to my repository that contains my TSConfiguration package, and you can see the options that I use by default. Here's a quick example of what a file that extends another configuration might look like. So this is my bundler.json file that I include in my package, and you can see it extends my tsc.json file and then overrides these options to work better with a bundler. You can publish your package on NPM by setting some fields in your package.json. So the first one's the name. If you haven't published a package to NPM before, this will be the name of the package when you install it. So for example, to install this package, you would do npm install @robino/tsconfig. And @robino is my organization, and under that organization, I published the tsconfig package. Another field you'll want to specify are any dependencies. So I've specified TypeScript as a pure dependency to ensure that users of my package have TypeScript installed in their projects and that they have a version higher than 5.5 installed. So the config option that I utilize works correctly. I've also specified the node types as a dependency. So anything specified in dependencies will be installed along with your package. And this just makes it so I don't have to keep track of installing the types for node every time I install my configuration package. Those will be installed automatically. There's no need to specify the main or the exports fields. TypeScript will just find the files referenced by the entire path. When you're ready, you can publish your package to NPM using the npm publish command or your preferred method to publish packages on NPM. Finally, you can install the TypeScript configuration as a development dependency by running npm install-d and then your package name. And then you can extend your configuration by specifying the extends field with the full path to your TypeScript configuration file. And then you can also specify any options you might want to override in the local project, and they'll override the ones in the configuration that you extend. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this video or subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Have a great day.